Okay, so to properly analyze the question, we're going to take a 3 by 3 matrix instead of using a 10 by 10. Okay, so we're going to call this 3 by 3 matrix. We're going to call it A. So A, and this A is going to be equal to random numbers. So let's say we say 8 and say 6 and 6, we say 4, say 3, say 1, 5, 7, 9, 10, like this. So the first thing we would want to do for us to properly solve this question is to convert it into a row matrix or a row vector. So what I mean by a row matrix is that you convert this a 3 by 3, you just convert it into a 1 by 9. Since it's 3 by 3, 3 times 3 is 9. So you convert it into a 1 by 9. So you convert it into a 1 by 9. And we're going to call this 1 by 9, we're going to call it B. So say B is equal to 8, 6, 4, 3, 1, 5, 7, 9, 10, like this. So we're going to go over how to do this properly in MATLAB, but I'll just give you guys the basic idea of how we've converted this. So you know that each number in an array has got a positional index. For example, the positional index of this 8 is A1, 1. So A1, 1 is equal to 8. Same goes for 6. The positional index of 6 is A1, 2. Go to 6. I'm pretty sure you learned about this in class. So now, in converting this 3 by 3 into a 1 by 9, basically what we're just doing is we're saying B 1, 1 is equal to A 1, 1, which is just equal to 8. So it means that we have put this 8 here, and B 1, 2 is equal to A 1, 2, which is equal to 6. It just means we have put the 6 here. Then B 1, 3 is equal to A 1, 3, which is equal to 4. Then B 1, 4 is equal to A 2, 1. Since we have entered the second row, we're going to say 2, 1, which is equal to 3. Then B 1, 5 is equal to A 2, 2, which is equal to this one here, 2, 1. So we're going to do this up to B 1, 9, which will be equal to A 3, comma 3, which is this 10 here. And that is how we are ending up with this array here. Let me just wrap this off. So to sort the numbers in this array, we're going to use what we call the bubble sort method. And the bubble sort method is just where you simply compare two adjacent numbers. So we start by comparing 8 with 6. And if we find that 8 is greater than 6, we're going to move 6 from where it is, put it where 8 is, and we're going to move 8 from where 8 is and put it where 6 is. So I'm just going to divide the screen and try to see the MATLAB logic of doing this and the analysis where you can be able to understand. So I'm going to say this is here, and I'm going to say MATLAB. Okay, so we're going to ask ourselves a question. We're going to say, is 8 greater than 6? If 8 is greater than 6, we're going to move this 6 here and put here. But first, we need to remove the 8. Store it somewhere. So to store the 8 somewhere, we're going to just put it in a variable. We're going to say temp, which is the storage where we're putting it, is equal to temp is equal to 8. And we're going to say, since 6 is at position B2, we want this 6 to come at position B1. So we're going to say B1 is equal to 6. You get? So it means that we are removing the 8 here and putting a 6. So we have 6 here and a 6 here. But in MATLAB, what we have done here goes like this. We're going to say if. What is the position of 8? You can't say 8. You get the position. What is the position of 8? The position of 8 is B1. So we're going to say B1 is greater than, what is the position of 6? 6 is at B2, greater than B2. If this is true, we are going to store B1, which is 8. We're going to say temp is equal to B1. The B1 is just 8. We know that. Then we're going to say B1 is equal to, instead of saying B1 is equal to 6, what is the position of 6? What is the position of 6 in this array? 6 is at position B2. So we're going to say B1 is equal to B2. What we have done is that we've just erased 8 from here and put 6 here. This is what we have done so far on both sides. Then we need to put back 8. We need to put 8 at the position where 6 was, which is this position here. So we're going to say B2 is equal to temp. Yeah, we're going to say B2 is equal to temp. The temp, which is just 8. And here we're going to say the same thing. We're going to say B2 is equal to temp. Meaning, what is temp? Temp is just 8. We're going to have an 8 here. So instead of having a 6, we're having 8. Then we say end. Okay. We'll repeat this again to compare 8 and 4. But I want you guys to pay attention to the pattern. What's happening? If we have a 1 here, we're having a 2 here. You get that? If we have a 1 here, we have a 2 here. If we have, okay, the pattern ends there. So let's compare 8 and 4. So let me just remove this. Okay. Okay, so let's compare 8 and 4. Is 8 greater than is 8 greater than 4? If true, we're going to store 8 into a temporary variable. So on this side, you see here we're just saying 8, but this side you see that 8 has changed position. It's no longer at the first position, it's at the second position. So here it will be if B2, 8 is at the second position, is greater than 4, which is at B3. We'll store B2, which is 8, we'll store it in a temporary variable. So B2 is being stored in a temporary variable. We can see that here 8 is being stored into temp. Then we're going to move this 4, take it here. So this is going to be this is at position B3. We're going to say B3. Oh no, we're going to say B2. I mean B2 is equal to we're going to say B2 is equal to 4. Meaning we have replaced the 8 which is here with 4. Even here we're going to do the same. We're going to say B2 is equal to B3. Instead of saying 4, we say B3 because we know that the number which is at position B3 is 4. So we have successfully swapped. What's happening? Resume. Okay. So now we need to put 8 where 4 was. So 4 was at B3. So we need to say B3 is equal to temp. What is temp? Temp is 8. So we need to put 8 here instead of 4. We need to put 8. So B3 is equal to temp. You get the idea. Again, see the pattern. There is 2 here. There is 3 here. There is 2 here. There is 3 here. You get the pattern. Again, we have to repeat. Is 8 greater than 3? Okay. Is 8 greater than 3? Instead of having 4 here, we're going to have 3. We're going to store 8. And let me just run this so that I don't confuse you. Okay. Okay, so we're going to store 8 in temp. Then we're going to say the position where 8 is B3. We're going to say B3 is equal to 3. Meaning we're moving this, we're copying this 3. Basically, we're just copying it. We're not moving it up. We're copying this 3 and putting it where 8 is. So when we come to the MATLAB side, we're saying if B3, if 8, which is at B3, is greater than 3, which is at B4. So, like I said, if we have a 3 here, we have a 4 here. So we're just essentially adding 1 to this, what is here. So this is just basically B3 plus 1 is what is here. So we're comparing B3 and B4. So we're going to store B3, which is 8, in a temporary variable called as temp. So temp is equal to B3. Then we're going to put 3 where 8 is. 8 is at B3. So we're going to put 3 at B3. So we're going to say B3 is equal to B4 is 3. We know that. Again, we're going to have 3 here. So we need to put 8 where this 3 was here. We need to put 8. So what we need to do is we need to just say B4 is equal to temp. This B4 is equal to temp. Again here, B4 is equal to temp, meaning we're just going to have 8 here. Now we can go on and on and on until we reach the far end. But what we can use to do this at once, instead of writing this for each position, you write this, again you come if, you write, again you come if, you write, you're just repeating this same statement in MATLAB multiple times. What you can do is, since you already have the logic, you know what's happening. What you're going to do is, let me just grab off the analysis side and maybe copy this, bring it here. Let me just leave it this side. Okay, what you're going to do is, since you already know the logic, let's say let the positions in this array be the positions, meaning meaning B1, B2, B3 up to B9. Let them equal an integer which will be changing. Let's say let them equal n. Okay. So if a given position is equal n, if a given position is equal n, this, what we have here, can be converted into this. We can say if b n is greater than b, like I said, b4 is just b3 plus 1. Okay. So if n is equal to 3, it means here we just have n plus 1. You see? Temp will be equal to bn. Since we've said that 3 is equal to n, or n is equal to 3, we have this. And this b4, this is just equal to, let me wrap it. This b4 is equal to b3 plus 1. So we'll say, okay, it seems that I've skipped this part. Let's go back to this part. This b3 is just equal to bn. Then b4 is equal to bn is equal to bn plus 1. This b3 plus 1 is equal to bn plus 1, which is equal to temp. Then we say end. Why have I done this? The reason I've done this is that you observe that this can be applied for any position in this in the array B. N can be applicable for any position. So if we say n is equal to 2, it means we are comparing B2, we are comparing B3, which we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to compare. If we say we are at B2, we'll compare B2 with B3. If let's say n is equal to B4, it means we're comparing B4 and B5. So if n is equal to 5, is equal to 4, we are comparing B4 and B5, which is B4 plus B4 plus 1, which is 5. And we'll have a 5 here. You get the sense. So this code which we have come up with here is applicable to any position in the array B. So now the other thing that we have to do is that instead of us saying when n is equal to 1, again when it solves you say if n when n is equal to 2, again when it solves the number swap, you say if n is equal to 3. What we can do is this entire code here can just be controlled by a for loop, meaning these numbers of n will be changing automatically. So we can put everything here under a for loop. Okay, so let me just make some clean space so that we put everything under a for loop. What I'm saying is we can say for n is equal to 1 to we're ending at 8, not at 9. Just have this in mind. We're ending at 8, not at 9. So for n is equal to 1 to 8. Okay, I don't know if we should end at 9, but okay, you can try it, see if it will work for end at 9. Okay, so for n is equal to 1 to 8. Then under this for loop, it's where you put if b n is greater than b n plus 1, temp is equal to b n. The b n is equal to b n plus 1, then b n plus 1 is equal to temp. Then you end the if statement and you end the for loop. You get the idea. So what will be happening is this for loop will start with n is equal to 1. Let me just make some clean space. Okay. Okay, so what this for loop will do is it will start with n is equal to 1. So the statement inside the for loop will read as follows. It will be if b1, since it's injecting 1 where there's n, if b1 is greater than, when you put n here, n plus 1, when n is 1, this is just equal to 2, temp is equal to b2, then b2 is equal to b1, since there's just n here, b1 is equal to, wait, even here there's supposed to be a 1. Okay, b1 is equal to b2, and b2 is equal to temp. Then we end. Again, when it does this, it will loop again, moving from 1 to 2. So there will be a 2 here, meaning there will be a 3 here, meaning there will be what? There will be a 2 here. There will be a 2. There will be a 3. There will be a 3. You get up. It will keep on doing this up to 8. So if you test this out in MATLAB, you're going to get this. So I wrote the code here in MATLAB. So I wrote the code, and you can see that you can see that misbehavior cha MATLAB na chena. There will be a lot of it.